A rally legend has left the world last month. A World Rally champion of the Group B era. A multiple rally winner of multiple rally eras. The tamer of the Audi Quattro. The first flying Finn. A driver that had a passion for driving fast cars through long and dangerous stages. That driver goes by the name of Hannu Mikkola. Hello guys, and welcome to the Hannu Mikkola tribute. Right here in front of us, we got his first ever car that gave him the real chance to be a World Rally Champion. We're talking about the Ford Escort RS 1800. It's absolutely an amazing car, rear-wheel drive, loads of power, and such a tough car. We also got the exact skin that he was driving in 1979 if I'm not mistaken, and I'm also going to have a link down below. But before we get into racing, I want you to check out the channel of Marv2, who is the creator of this amazing Hannu Mikkola tribute that I've used here at the start of the video and also a little bit at the end. So go and subscribe to him. He allowed me to use these clips, and I'm very grateful for him for letting me do that. So subscribe to him, like his video, and let's get now down to racing. So here we are inside the cockpit of the Ford Escort RS, and what a car this is. The engine sound, the grip that you have with this car, the limited grip I should say, because of the rear-wheel drive. It's such an incredible car. The Rally 2.0 always had the upper hand obviously on historic cars, but this is like a huge advantage that they have on the rear-wheel drive cars. The feel that you get with the rear-wheel drive cars in this game is absolutely amazing. So talking about this car, its history. 1979 is the year when Hannu Mikkola actually lost out on the championship with this exact car for 1 point. And she also missed out on his teammate. So the Ford Escort RS won the Constructors' Championship. They had the top two drivers on the top of the standings, and he actually missed out on the championship for 1 single point. So he actually drove that car to the maximum, missed out on the championship just for a bit. Luck, anything could happen at that point, you know, just for 1 point. 1980 was a bit of a weird season for Hannu Mikkola. He actually drove for multiple teams, multiple cars, and he ended up actually being second at the end of the day, behind the dominant Walter Roll in the Audi Quattro. A weird statistic though that you have to remember about this guy is that from 1978 to 1984 consecutively he was inside the top 3 of the championship standings, which shows of his worth. Like, being in the top 3 of the championship standings for 6 consecutive seasons is absolutely insane. And it's even more insane to think about that. Thinking about he's been driving cars like this, like the Ford Escort, for a bit of time, and later on moving to the Group B era, driving the Audi Quattro, which we're going to be driving very, very soon. For the time being, we're driving around Greece for anyone who hasn't guessed. Driving around Greece, where in 1979 he actually retired with this car. Very unfortunately. Had he not retired, he probably would have won the championship. But it is what it is.
70. 3 right. Opens. And 6 right. Into 6 left. Keep right over 220. 4 right tightens. Into 6 left. Keep right over 80. 6 left. 50. Keep left over crest. Into 5 right long. And 6.
It's a lovely little stage, this one as well. Very fast, very technical as well. And also the big issue with this Greek stage, obviously the gravel, will always be how rough the gravel is and how less grip you have. But look at this beautiful car. I love the skin. Very good job by the creator of this skin. Absolutely amazing. Oh, just about. Oh no, we're gonna clip a little bit the inside rock there. That's gonna actually make us lose a little bit of the back end. But you can see how unforgivable this car is. Like, don't make this be your first ever car. This was the era where Fiat actually won a few championships, if I'm not mistaken, with the Fiat 131 Abarth, which I've actually used in my career mode episodes. And for me, in my opinion, it's probably the best car in that category. It's very smooth, very controllable on the throttle, whereas this one, in combination with the Opel Kadett, I think they are the hardest cars. You lose the back end very easily with these cars. And there's also the Alpine, I think, in the Dutch, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't really have an opinion on those two cars. I've mostly driven the Kadett, the Fiat, and the Escort. But that was enough now for the Escort, a 436.4. What a car! What a flipping car. Amazing car. Losing the back end all the time. A lot of speed. Absolutely love this car. Moving now on to the next era. We're going to be moving to the Audi Quattro, with which he won the World Championship. Familiar with this game? It's actually Dead Rally 1. And the reason I'm here on Dead Rally 1 is because Dead Rally 1 has the exact version of the car that Hannu Mikkola drove when he won his first ever championship. Now you've got to remember, 1981 he actually finished third, 1982 he finished yet again third, and all these things at the time where Walter Roll was dominating with the exact same car, the Audi Quattro. Walter Roll obviously being a rally legend, you know, he won a lot of championships, got a lot of wins. But he was always very close. 1981, you know, finishing third. 1982 again third, and then in 1983, with the exact same car, the Audi Quattro, it was a dominant period for the Audi there, the Audi team with the Quattro and his four-wheel drive. He managed to finally beat Roll and win that first ever World Rally Championship, 1983. Remember the date. And in my opinion, it was probably one of his best seasons, but what I think was his best ever season was 1984. Again, with the same car, he almost won the championship despite not competing in most of the rallies. He finished second to Blomqvist, who actually competed in all rallies, whereas Hannu completed in three less rallies, which is a huge difference. Losing only the championship by 21 points and competing in three less rallies, well, that would have been a dominant season for Hannu Mikkola had he competed in all 3 rallies. But yeah, that's how history is written. You know, sometimes history is like, you know what, we're just not gonna have that.
Crest bump and left 4 half long over crest, opens long and tightens over crest 60. Cab right 4 tightens 3 long over crest, don't cut 80 past junction, crest. Left 3 don't cut past junction, opens over crest.
One more interesting statistic about Hannu Mikkola being the tamer of the Audi Quattro is that he actually held the record for the most WRC victories from 1982 to 1988, and he actually got that record with his 12th victory in the Wales Rally in 1982. The previous record was actually 11 wins, and he managed to extend that record to 80 wins until 1987 with his last victory in the Safari Rally, again with the Audi Quattro. Unfortunately, his record was broken later on by Marco Allen in 1989, if I'm not mistaken, or 1988, in the Wales Rally, which was actually the 19th and last victory for Marco Allen, another legend of the WRC. So, had that not happened, he probably would have held our record together with Marco Allen with 18 victories. But as we always say, history is there to be written, and so you cannot change history.
Junction, middle over crest, jump 80 through dip. Crest jump AB.
Oh, very close to losing it there. You can see the differences in the handling as well on Dare Rally 1. A much different game in all its sense. But the overall conclusion you can get from this is that what a beast of a car this was. What a fast Group B car. Absolutely amazing car. There's literally nothing to say about this car. An absolutely legendary car. And thinking about winning a championship with this car. Like, these cars were flying. The Group B era was something different, and people like driving these cars were already legends, let alone winning a championship in the Group B era. Like, I can't even imagine how hard that was. The last car we're driving is Walter Roll's Audi Quattro S1. This was a huge upgrade for Audi. This was the step forward to dominating even more the World Rally Championship. This is the upgrade of the previous car we drove, which actually exists on Dare Rally 2.0. This is known as Walter Roll's car, but don't forget that Hannu Mikkola also drove this car as well. It's not that only Walter Roll drove it. Hannu Mikkola drove this car. I have no idea if he actually won a rally with this car. I'm not very sure. I think he didn't, but I think he actually drove it in Finland, and I'm gonna put some footage as well down in the description below if anyone wants to check them out, you know, check a bit of real life Hannu Mikkola driving this beast, because this car was the fastest Audi Quattro. It was around the time when Hannu Mikkola decided to not drive anymore, decided to retire, sort of, let's say. He had his privateer appearances here and there, but he didn't actually decide to complete a full season with this car. Had he completed a full season with this car, I fully believe that he would extend his record of the most rally victories. He would probably fight for yet another championship. I don't know if he would have won it, but I'm not sure that his performances started this season, because let's be honest, he won the championship in 1983. He finished second in 1982 despite competing in 3 less rallies as the champion itself, and then he just retired. He decided to step away and be like, you know what, I've had enough, you know, I've driven these demonic cars for so long, I need to take a rest. I respect his decision, obviously. I have no idea how hard it would have been all physically and mentally to drive these cars for such a long period of time and risking your life every single month or whatever the schedule was back in the day. But I honestly think that he would have written even more history had he stayed in that category for a little bit longer and drove that amazing, I think 800 horsepower Audi Quattro S1. Legendary car. Just listen to the sound of it, just listen to the turbo, the absolutely everything about this car is such an amazing car. One of the best of that era, together with the Lancia Delta.
Opens over crest, into 4 left, slow 20, keep right over crest, turn unseen, open hairpin left. Right over crest, into 5 left, 30.
Run slightly wide there. Of course, this car can be proved to be a little bit understeered, because with the 4-wheel drive, you know, you can't really slide it a lot, which was a bit of a downside if you really think about it. But overall, these cars were absolutely insane, and the drivers that drove these cars were even more insane. That's all I've got to say. We're very close to the finish line. It's been a very good final sector. but still it's a 326.1. I'm just impressed. That's the only thing I can say. Impressed by the drivers that drove these cars to the limit and had no fear whatsoever to be the absolute fastest. So yeah, that was it for today. If you enjoyed, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that bell to get notifications for any new videos that I post. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord server, and yeah, subscribe to Marv Dog again for the amazing tribute that he made to Hannu Mikkola, and go and check out the original video. After all that, rest in peace Hannu Mikkola, we will miss you. Be brave, be fast, be Group B.